Breaststroke is the slowest way to move through the water of the 4 competitive strokes, but in this video, I'm going to show you how to swim faster using less energy. And we're going to start by looking at the difference between a 1 minute per 100 breaststroke pace and a 2-minute pace. Then I'm going to break down what you can learn from these different speeds so that you can swim faster and smarter than ever before. This live stream is powered by Aerofit, but more on them a little bit later. If you guys are new here, I'm Coach Ferris, and in past videos on this channel, I've broken down my own technique at different speeds, and today we're breaking down my breaststroke technique and comparing it to Nick's breaststroke. Nick has been swimming for about a year and a half, and he started a 3-minute pace per 100, and now he's just under 2 minutes per 100. Let me know down below in the comments what your 100 breaststroke time is. Now, breaststroke is so slow because your body position is the lowest in the water. And you can see with Nick compared to me. Now, when I'm going full speed over a short distance, I can swim less than 1 minute per 100 meters as a pace, and you can see just how much higher in the water my body position is in the water. Now, the longer you swim, the slower you're gonna get. So for me, in a straight shot with a dive in an Olympic-sized pool, I can swim a 50-meter breaststroke in 30 seconds. But in a 100, without adding another dive, it takes me 1 minute and 8 seconds, and in a 200, it's almost 2.5 minutes. Now, this is normal, but there's always room to improve. So let's start by looking at Nick at his 3-minute pace, and then we're gonna work our way from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right here from this side underwater view, and we're gonna break down the things that he needs to improve, and then we'll go from a 3-minute pace to a 2-minute pace, all the way to a 1-minute pace where I'm swimming, and we'll see what happens. So right away, we got the underwater stroke. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right here, and you can see the body position. So let's draw some lines. This is the body. Whoa, let's draw another line. So this is his body, but the water line's way up here. So all of this space right here, this is all displacement underwater, and you can see the angle right there is gonna be reflective of it. And so remember, the water is 800 times more dense than air. So you wanna make sure you're minimizing that gap. And so the faster you can swim, it's sort of like a compounding effect. So if you're able to essentially get your body position higher, then you're going to have less drag and you're gonna swim faster. Now that body position actually starts from the head position. So if your head comes really high out of the water and you're not able to maintain balance where your hips are, well then your body's just gonna sag, and that's how we have this area right there. So let's go ahead and play this, and I think we'll watch another angle and you can really see what I mean with the body position. Then we're gonna talk about timing. So you can see it right there. The body position is pretty deep. Now I actually wanna go back a little bit and talk about timing. In breaststroke, it's all about pull, kick, glide. So you can see my timing here, pull, kick, glide, hit the streamline on every single stroke. There's a pause in streamline, and the best swimmers in the world are hitting streamline on every single stroke. It's a key difference between swimming anything under 130 pace and anything over that. So you can see here, Nick is not pausing at the right point. So let's go watch that one more time. Hit the play button. All right, let's watch here the timing. So right there, at this point, his arms should be in streamline. This is where his arms should be. Right now, his arms are way out here, so he's not leveraging the kick. So you gotta go pull, kick, glide, and then streamline. And it's super important to have that streamline position. Otherwise, you're not gonna maximize and reduce drag. Maximize propulsion and reduce drag. So I'm gonna clear that. We'll go ahead and watch it. And just pay attention to that timing, right? It's pull, kick, glide. Between the body position and head position and the timing, that's how you can drop the most time. Regardless of what your hands are doing, your feet, any of that stuff. You have to make sure your body position is high, you're floating, your eyes are looking down, and you have to get the timing. Now, one thing I want to point out here that Nick has actually improved beyond the body position going from 3-minute to 2-minute is the hands. So look at the hands where they're dropping. I'm gonna demonstrate up here. So on the pull, he's pulling his hands way down. You want to imagine in your nose, or your hands are pulling to your nose, all right? So you're swimming breaststroke, your hands sweep out just past your shoulders, and then you're gonna pull yourself in, but you're gonna pull until your nose. So I got my nose right here as my guide. I stop right there, and you wanna mentally stop at your nose, and then your hands come back. So look at what Nick is doing. He goes well beyond his nose, almost to his waist. So what happens is this is added energy because you have to pull your hands back in front, and that's gonna pull you backwards. So you wanna have actually a smaller pull to leverage the kick and hit the streamline. So this is now, we're at 2-minute pace. We have now, this is an updated video, and you can already see just how much better the body position is. His hips are so much higher in the water. He's still pulling his hands down, but not as much, so that's a lot better. But really, you can see this massive improvement in the body position. And you can, I'm just gonna pause it right here. This is the lowest part of his stroke, and look at his body line. The water is right here. I mean, before we were drawing, let me do a different color. Before we were drawing the line, he was like right here. So we had all of this area that was underneath the water. I just realized that's transparent. We don't want that. I'm gonna clear that. And so, this is live, folks. So we're gonna draw the line here. That's the water line coming down. And as you can see, the delta right there, that's his butt, but the delta, what we're trying to show, is way, way smaller. And that means he has less drag through the water. Body position is better. His hands, you know, the nose is about right here, and that's where we want to stop the pull. So let's go ahead and go back and then watch that again. Pay attention to those things. There's the pull. Better pull, but the body position so much faster, and this is under 2-minute pace. And you'll see that when you see me swim at about a minute pace, it's significantly higher than that even. So that's really some of the biggest differences, and it comes down to timing, because you can't swim that high in the water if you can't get the timing. So let's go ahead and back up just a little bit. There it is, you can see the timing. Oh man, so in breaststroke, it's super important to have good breath control. So you need to train your breath control both in and out of the water. And one way to do that is through Aerofit, and that is today's video sponsor. So Aerofit is the official breathing trainer for MySwimPro, and it's a tool that I've personally been using for the last few years to improve my accessible lung capacity. And it's helped me even swim faster. And it's really simple to use. You start with a 3-step test to get your baseline, and then the app will actually set you up with a personalized training program, and the workouts take less than 10 minutes. You can do it every single day. It's really easy. You follow the app, you adjust the resistance levels right there on the breathing trainer, and you'll see the difference in literally a few sessions. I mean, I have in my notes it takes a few weeks. You'll actually see it in a few sessions. It's pretty awesome. You strengthen your diaphragm, helps you sleep better. You inhale that oxygen. It's an amazing thing for your body, and this makes your breathing more controlled, and it's gonna help with recovery. So if you're interested in taking your breathing to the next level, check out the link in the description and use the code MySwimPro15 to get that off of your Aerofit order. There's a promo, we'll go ahead and pause that. So make sure you check it out, we'll link it down below. Thanks again to Aerofit for being the official breathing partner of MySwimPro. So let's go ahead and keep things moving, talking about the breaststroke. Now we're at 1-minute pace per 100. Save your questions, we're gonna do questions in just a little bit. And as you can see, my body position, much, much higher. At this speed, you cannot swim. I think I did a 25 blast or 15-meter blast. So in a 25 from a push, I can go about 15 seconds. We're talking 1-minute pace per 100 meters. That is the pace of speed. And at this speed, you can see the body position. Let me kind of get out of the way. So this is the water line, and this is my hip line. As you can notice, the difference is very small. If you want to look at like the fastest swimmers in the world who are going even faster than this, we're talking like an Adam Peaty, and their body position is going to be like right here. So that's the difference between someone who's going, right now I'm probably going, let's call it a minute pace per 100. And Adam Peaty, who's the world record holder, time is 56 seconds in a long course pool, but at maximum speed, he's going closer to 50 seconds per 100, which is, oh my God, that sounds ridiculous. But that's the difference, that yellow line between the red where I am. And really it comes down to body position, because everyone's swimming with good timing, pull, kick, glide. Let's go ahead and play that. You can see what pull, kick, glide looks like. There's the pull, kick, and then glide in the streamline. This is a really good angle that I do. I do a 50 breaststroke here. And one of the ways that you can improve your timing, and remember I talked about the pull, you don't want to pull past your nose, and the narrow kick, all these things, count how many strokes I take. And if you want, let me know in the comments how many strokes you take and what your 100 time is. Because really in breaststroke, it comes down to your stroke efficiency. So this is a 25-meter pool. Include the pull out in your count, that's fine. And you're really trying to maximize your distance per stroke. So I push off the wall, good streamline. You want to carry that momentum off of the pullout. This pool, by the way, is in Phuket, Thailand. We held our swim camp there last year. It was amazing. More camps coming up. That was 2 strokes, 3 strokes, we're almost at 20 meters, 4 strokes, and it looks like 5 strokes in 25 meters, and maybe I was 37, 38 seconds on that. So a little bit slower on pace, but just to see what it looks like above the water, I wanna go back below the water and talk about a few more things when it comes to the stroke. So here's the stroke. I mentioned you don't wanna pull your hands past your nose. Now this is an area that I can actually improve. So my nose is right there, there's my nose, and if we just kind of draw like a dotted line, ta-da! And you'll see that I passed this dotted line by just a little bit. Now for me, the weakest part of my breaststroke is my pull, and I overcompensate because I'm not grabbing enough on the front of the stroke. So for me, the best way for me to improve is to just literally develop the strength, capacity, and technique of my upper body in the water. Doesn't mean go do a bunch of pull-ups or bench press. It means literally improving my technique at this point in the stroke. So I'm gonna go ahead and play. Actually, let's do it in even slower, slow motion. There we go. Oh yeah, there's the pull. Where's the pull? And yep, we're passing a little bit, trying to maintain the line. Yeah, and you can see here, I am diving pretty well. I mean, I'm going forward. Sometimes people have too much of this like up-down roller coaster path. You're trying to get to the other end of the pool, so don't overcomplicate it and have your hands go up and down. You're really trying to drive your hands through the water. Your thumbs are maybe just at the surface, or your pinky is just at the surface, because if you bring your hands too high up on this part of the stroke, you're literally just gonna have your butt sink down, and you don't want your butt to sink. So really make sure you're maintaining that body position. Let's put it back at normal speed, and then we're gonna go back in time. Well, this is our ad, we don't wanna do that. All right, here we go, play. Let's see what we got. And let me know in the comments how many strokes you guys are taking and what your 100 time is. Woo, baby. All right, so I see a question about how do you maintain a low stroke count as you're fatiguing? Yeah, that's a good question. So if you notice, like here, I'm over the water and I'm able to maintain a stroke count, but you have to train with the desired stroke count. So let me explain what I mean by that. So if you swim a 200 breaststroke and you know your ideal pace and stroke, you take like 10 strokes per length. Every time you train and you're doing pace, you need to hit the same number of strokes. And you should count how many strokes you take in training. Even if you're not competing, if you're just trying to improve your breaststroke, you should know your baseline of how many strokes you take per length. And so for me, normally my baseline is actually 5 in a 25-yard pool. If I'm swimming well, I'm good. Here I'm a little bit more fresh because I know I'm only doing 150, so I have a little bit more power per stroke, and that's why I'm able to do 5 in a 25-meter pool. But for me, it's normally 5 strokes. So if I ever take like 7, right, that's not good. 7 strokes is far too many for me. I need to be taking the same number every single time. And for you, whether your number is 8, 9, 12, 15, 4, it doesn't really matter. You need to be consistent, you need to know it. So if you're trying to maintain your distance per stroke over a longer period of time, it's so important that you just count how many strokes you take, and then you're gonna be able to throttle up and down your speed. If you're not swimming at, a 1:10 pace or a minute pace like I am, that's okay. Let's say you're swimming at a 2-minute pace. You can make dramatic progress just by improving your timing. So I actually want to go back here to the beginning of the video where we were looking at Nick's technique, because Nick was started at a 3-minute pace per 100, and then he moved his way all the way down to under 2 minutes. So here's him at a 3-minute pace. The pull is too wide. The head is all over the place. His butt is like, a meter underneath the water. And what we want to do, we want to make sure that body line is high. Don't rush it. It looks like he's putting in so much work here. In fact, it shouldn't be that much work. It's inefficient. Breaststroke is slow because your body's lower in the water, but you want to be controlled. Every stroke has precision. Maximize your distance per stroke. If you guys have any other questions, let me know down below in the comments. Thanks again to Aerofit for being the official breathing partner for MySwimPro, and I'll see you guys later. Happy swimming!